What if I told you that the wars in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen are not separate conflicts, but pieces of a single geopolitical chessboard? What if the instability across the Middle East today can be traced back to one pivotal year, 1989, the year when Ali Khamenei rose to power in Iran? From that moment onward, the region would never be the same. This is the story of ideology, proxy warfare, sectarian politics, and the creation of what many analysts call Iran's axis of resistance. To understand this crisis, we must go back to the 1979 Islamic Revolution led by Ruhollah Khomeini. The revolution replaced a Western aligned monarchy with a theocratic system based on Vilayat Faqih, the guardianship of the Islamic jurist. When Khomeini died in 1989, Ali Khamenei inherited not just leadership but a revolutionary mission. Iran was no longer just a country, it was a cause. Its goal: resist Western influence, challenge Israel, export revolutionary ideology. But Iran had a problem. It could not confront stronger powers directly, so it chose a smarter strategy. Iran developed a model of asymmetric warfare. Instead of fighting head on, it built armed non state actors across the region. The first and most powerful example: Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hezbollah became a political party, a militia stronger than the Lebanese army, a deterrent force against Israel. For Iran, Hezbollah became the northern front, and this was only the beginning. In 2003, the United States invaded Iraq. Saddam Hussein fell, and a power vacuum emerged. Iran moved quickly. It cultivated Shia militias, political parties, and armed groups that later became deeply embedded in Iraq's security forces. This gave Iran something strategic: a land corridor from Tehran through Iraq into Syria and reaching Lebanon, a continuous arc of influence. In 2011, civil war erupted in Syria. President Bashar al-Assad was on the brink of collapse. For Iran, losing Syria would break the chain, so Iran intervened. Military advisors from the IRGC, Hezbollah fighters, financier lifeline. With Russia's later involvement, Assad survived. Syria became the logistical bridge connecting Iran to Lebanon, but the chessboard expanded further south. In Yemen, Iran supported the Houthi movement, also known as Ansar Allah. The Houthis seized large parts of Yemen and began confronting a Saudi led coalition. For Iran, this created a strategic leverage against Saudi Arabia, key oil infrastructure, Red Sea shipping lanes, missiles, and drones launched by Houthis demonstrated a new era of proxy warfare, low cost but high impact. Now Iran had pressure point on multiple fronts. The shadow was intensified. Israel conducted airstrikes in Syria targeting Iranian assets. Cyber attacks increased. In 2020, the United States killed Qasem Soleimani, the architect of Iran's regional strategy. The assassination marked a turning point. Retaliatory missile strikes followed. Tensions soared. The nuclear issue further complicated matters with sanctions tightening Iran's economy but not diminishing its regional posture. Today, Iran's crisis is not a single war, it is a network conflict system involving Iran versus Israel, Iran versus Saudi Arabia, Iran versus United States, proxy militia versus state actors, Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen are interconnected theaters. Each front supports the other. Each escalation risks regional war. Since 1989, Iran under Ali Khamenei has built what some call a ring of resistance. Supporters call it strategic defense. Critics call it destabilization. But one thing is undeniable. The Middle East today is shaped by decades of proxy strategy, ideological ambition, and geopolitical rivalry. And the story is far from over. Of course, Iran's strategy in the Middle East was built on proxies, deterrence, and strategic depth. But everything changed in February 2026. A series of coordinated military strikes carried out by United States and Israel targeted strategic military facilities and leadership in Iran. Those strikes were unprecedented and their implications are reshaping the region's geopolitical map. On 28 February 2026, US and Israeli air forces launched a joint offensive against Iran, targeting nuclear sites, missile infrastructure, and command center. The operation, described as one of the most ambitious military campaigns in decades, resulted in the assassination of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Khamenei, the central architect of Iran's regional strategy for nearly 4 decades, was killed along with top IRGC commanders and senior state officials. This was not a symbolic strike. It was meant to decapitate the leadership and cripple Iran's ability to coordinate its military and proxy network across the Middle East. Political institutions in Tehran scrambled. A leadership council was formed to fill the vacuum, but the death of Iran's supreme leader has opened the door to unpredictable shifts in Iran's internal politics and strategy. The direct strike on Iran's heartland transformed the conflict into a state level war rather than proxy skirmishes. Within hours of the initial attack, Iran launched ballistic missiles and drones at Israel and US military bases throughout the Gulf. Targets included allied Arab states hosting US forces. The crisis rapidly spread beyond Iran's borders. Simultaneously, proxies tied to Tehran responded. Hezbollah began missile strikes from Lebanon into northern Israel, prompting massive Israeli counterstrike. This is no longer a series of localized conflict, but an interconnected confrontation involving multiple fronts from Iran's territory to Lebanon, the Gulf states, and potentially beyond. The war has also spilled into the economic arena. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most vital oil checkpoints, effectively shut down after Iranian forces warned vessels not to transit the waterway. This region handles a significant share of global oil export. A blockage in Hormuz sends shockwaves through global market, driving up energy prices, disrupting supply chains, and increasing uncertainty worldwide. The war's economic impact now touches countries far beyond the Middle East. The foundation of Iran's regional strategy was its network of proxies from Hezbollah in Lebanon to militias in Iraq and the Houthi movement in Yemen. But the assassination of Khamenei shakes that structure. Previously, Iranian proxies operated with clear strategic direction from Tehran. The